This collection is Antonina Vella Layered Luxe, and the inspiration behind this collection was to really showcase the idea of layered effects featuring lots of texture, pattern, and color, and how the layering effects can really play with each other. So we start off with a watercolor tree with really beautiful birds in the first room shot. And then we move into our opening pattern, which is a really bold, bright, floral, really clean, fresh color. It's got this beautiful silk effect, texture, and lots of these really beautiful translucent watercolor effects. So we have a nice bright pink. Then we also kind of do some earthier colors. So we've got this nice kind of ochre, and we know that yellows are starting to trend. Then we get into kind of this earthy clay pink with this sort of more olivey green. And then we move into a beautiful purple with blues and greens. And lastly, a really bright blue and green combination, which I think is really important right now, these blues and greens together. This next pattern is a stripe that has a subtle raised effect that is more just for the nice touch of hand that you get when you run your hand across it. It also has a beautiful silk texture that's printed, a little metallic accent, and again, just really the play of all those combination of details and how they mix together is sort of what the inspiration is about for this. So we have our warm neutral. We know that the warm neutrals really are trending. We've got this nice clay pink. Then we have kind of a nice taupe with a little silver accent. And this really beautiful green with the nice soft gold accent. And again, has that raised effect in that part of the stripe. Our next design, oh, I'm sorry, there's one more stripe. It's this beautiful soft blue, really calming, easy to live with, beautiful color. The next design we move into is a nice large scale floral in a sort of silhouette or shadowed effect. Again, it has a kind of a silk movement in the background. It's a different texture though from some of the previous patterns. It's a little bit softer, just again, really a beautiful scale, but also easy to live with. And we open with a sunny yellow, then really beautiful, soft, neutral, kind of sandy tones, nice and warm, really easy to decorate with, beautiful green. And again, this nice, like sort of sky blue. Then we do a fun pop of like a brighter teal. We know that teal is coming on strong for 26, and a nice classic black. This next design is surface printed. So it has like a natural texture just from the print technique that is so beautiful to see and to touch. This design features little vines of leaves, and it has a lot of movement to it. So it should look really, really beautiful on the wall. Got this nice green, kind of this softer aqua shade, beautiful blue, taupe, and then we have our nice warm neutral. You can see how it just like has a beautiful flow on the wall.
Great movement.
So we have another little natural texture here that we have swatched, which is a cotton and hemp with a non-woven backing. And that plays really nicely with that texture with this particular design that features trees in almost like a canvas, like a painted canvas effect. It's very impressionistic and very lots of beautiful detail, mixture of colors. So we have this really nice neutral that has a lot of warm and cool combined tones, a beautiful green idea, this nice blue, which they're very atmospheric. We know those kind of landscapes are definitely really beautiful. And then kind of this really softer neutral with pops of green and blue. Very easy to live with. And then we have our tree with our bird. This is a watercolor technique with a soft eggshell crackle texture that plays really nicely with the watercolor effect. This is sort of an earthier palette with little accents of plum and rust, which is really beautiful. Then we have this really natural green that's very soft. And then we have a cleaner, brighter where we dropped the crackle for a contrast of a different type of look, where this is more of the clean blues and greens. And then we have a brighter green story, a fresher, bright green that does have the crackle texture on it as well.
That's the cover, right?
Yes, yeah. This is the cover. So this is back to that opening room shot that we talked about here.
So fresh.
Then we have this little leaf pattern that has a climbing movement on the wall, sort of a vertical effect. And this is like a nice green. Then we have our beautiful teal, very bright, a nice soft neutral, this sort of earthier kind of pink rose with the neutral background. And then the really just easy, beautiful blue. This is a nice design because it's mid-scale, so it offers another option rather than just always having the bigger scale.
It's very delicate. It's pretty.
Then we have this, which is very like casually elegant. It's like a meadow inspiration. They're very delicate little different types of sprigs with another sort of crackle effect that kind of softens it down. And you get a nice variety of colors. This is a kind of black and green story. It's very beautiful. Then for a little more drama, we have the black background with little pops of gold, green, and even the red and pink, which is really nice. This is a good opportunity to play with color. The shapes are smaller, so it's nice to have the pops of color without it being so overwhelming. So again, this is earthier with the greens that are warmer and the kind of pink and ochre colors. Then we have back to our brighter blue-green palette, very clean. And then this has like a nice mid-tone neutral with two different twists of metallic, sort of our glinty color and our gold with other neutrals mixed in. And the next design is this really soft plaid effect. Again, I like that word atmospheric because the colors just kind of blend and flow, very painterly. It does have a raised effect on it, so you can touch and feel that. So just lots of depth, lots of interesting layers, very soft green and blue, neutral with a little bit of a brown accent, this nice kind of denim blue, and then this softer neutral. You can see how pretty that looks on the wall. Then we move to another floral. This is a hydrangea, which is a very classic flower motif, but we thought this looked very fresh and updated in this watercolor technique with this kind of soft movement on the wall. This has a fine linen texture printed on it. So you've got a nice purple and blue. Then we move into more of a vintage color inspiration with this like beautiful rose and the bluer green. And a nice green and blue, clean. And then our brighter, cleaner pink colorway. And we have our little spot design that has some fun colors. Again, this is a nice opportunity to play with some bright colors. We've got the bright pink and green. There's a nice classic neutral, a blue-green, a beautiful teal with a yellow, which is a fun combination. And then we have a nice red and blue. And that is Layered Luxe.